Hello and welcome to a video about how you set up your Fivem server from scratch. If you're looking to run a Fivem server, either roleplay, racing, this is what you're going to have to do for the basics. You're going to start off by going to the Fivem website. Now, if you would want your server on a GitHub directly, I would suggest following my earlier video or waiting for an updated video coming the next week or so. But at the start, we're just going to be on the fivem.net website, and you're going to be able to click create your own server. From here, you could either go with hosting, which isn't the best if you're new at this. I would suggest getting a little practice on coding first and how to set up your server. So we're going to be going to host your own server, as is what I do. And from here, you're going to be getting the basics of before you begin. You'll get a key master here, which you will have to click and log in from your Fivem account to be able to start your first key. This key is stuck on an IP. You could make it inactive, public. It's inactive or active to turn it on or off. And I am on Windows, so we are going to be following the Windows setting up your server. There is one for Linux as well if you scroll down. So we're going to want to go to the artifact server right here. All links will be in the description to help you guys out as well. And we're going to be downloading the latest recommended. And when this is downloading, you're going to want a folder to put it in. So I'm just going to put it in this drive and create a new folder called Fivem Server. While you got Fivem Server loading, this is going to be downloading, and I usually just Control A. You could also extract here if you just drag it in if you'd like. When this is going and moving all of these, we are going to go back to the website. Basically, scroll all the way down to the traditional steps, and we are going to get this Cfx Server Data, and we're going to just download this from GitHub, and as everything's in it, we're going to open it right back up, and we are going to drag and drop this folder in here. It will have master on it. You can delete that, you could keep it if you want, it doesn't really matter. But after that is all done, you can scroll all the way back up and follow these steps. But you're watching a video, you don't want me to read the steps. Let's be real, ain't no one got enough time for that. So what you're going to do is go onto your folder, scroll down until you see Cfx Server application. You're just going to double click this, very simple, and it's going to open up this and put your PIN in. It will automatically have your PIN. When you get here, you're going to have to log in to your Fivem account, which is going to be linked onto this, and you're just going to click continue. Very simple. You are going to have a password here, which hopefully you know it. If you don't, find it, reset your password, do all that easy stuff. Once you get here, I'm going to ask you a few things for TX admin, and you're just going to click next. If you want the server to be named something, just name it server name it whatever you want. Doesn't really matter. Okay. Then we're going to be clicking next. From here, the deployment type is actually what you want. If you want to use ESX, just click the popular template. I personally will probably never use ESX again. I might look at it for some code design and how to just port that over to a custom framework that I've been working on. But if you choose to use ESX, just go right ahead. There's no harm in doing that at all. But for this, I am going to be clicking local server data. And from here, you're going to want to select the folder that contains resources and cache. This is going to be that base folder that we actually ported in, which is the Cfx data. And we're just going to go into it, right click this top area, and copy address as text. From there, we can minimize that and put copy and paste it right into the local server data. Once that is in, you need the path for the server config, which you get the server config. You're going to go right back to this page, scroll down just a little bit, and you're going to have the server config right here. And you're just going to copy all this and open that folder once again. I usually put it in my Cfx Server Data folder as well, and we're just going to be clicking new text document. New text document. Do this wrong. I'm just going to open with code here, which is my Visual Studio. And we're going to file, new file, and we're going to paste this in right here. And file, save as, and it's going to be right in Cfx Server Data. And we're just going to call this server.cfg. Save. So while this is in here, I'm just going to delete this new text document. We are going to copy this as text once again and go into that web browser of txadmin, and we're going to add that slash server here, right in here, and we're going to backslash server.cfg. After we do that, save, and we are all set from there. Now we can save and start the server, which we're going to get an instant error here. This instant error is because we do not have a server license key. So in here, in the code, if you want to open it up in Visual Studio Code, or anything really, any text editor that you have, you can see your insurers, start the resources that you have. You got tags that you can put in, role play, military, stuff like that. And then you have the FX host name. So you could change this to whatever you want it to show up on Fivem. But we are going to go down to these. So you will need a Steam Web API key. This, especially if you're using a framework for roleplay, basically gets the Steam ID of the person, which is used for a lot of callbacks. So you're going to want to put that in. And then for the SV license key, it has all the links right in here that you actually need, but all of them will be in the description as well. So I'm just going to go close this real quick and open up activate this one right here. And I don't really care about this key. This key is going to be deleted right after, but for your information, just this change me, you're going to just hover over and paste your key in here. After you paste your key, you can save this file, minimize this, and okay, I cannot restart the server. Closed it, so we're going to go right back into the files, back out over here, and just double click the FX server once again. After we do this, you can see it's slowly loading. We could open up all these as it fetches everything that it needs for dependencies and whatnot. And if you scroll up as well, you should be able to see that it is starting all the resources. Chat actually is not found by default, so I mean, everyone doesn't really use the default chat. Usually just find one online. If you're using old ESX, I have one on my GitHub, which is linked down below in the description as well. That's similar to NoPixels if you want that. Just note that it is extremely, extremely old and might need slight modifications. I sort of just became inactive on that chat. There's no point in me using it as I don't use ESX anymore. But after this, you're basically done. After this, you could log in. Now it's creating the elements for chat. So next time you start up the server, chat will be found. And that's it. From there, you got your server up. You can go on it. If you go into Fivem, you could just F8 connect space localhost, or if you have the localhost option up, you could be using that. Other than that, that is how you set up and start a basic Fivem server. Thank you for watching.